Field, number 75, Shane Lowe. And your flex player plays second base, number 2, David Gustafson. Bench players, Jonah Owensworth, Darren Ruby, and Paul Eckler. Coaches, Kim Madonna, Ron Middleton.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to a very special presentation of NAMSA Softball. It is the Northern Area Men's Softball Association Div 1 Grand Final between the Hillbillies and the USC Bears. The Hillbillies have a very rich history in the NAMSA Grand Finals, winning a record number. I think it's around about 15. USC Bears may have a premiership under a different name, USC Pirates, but a couple of them at least. But first time as the Bears. James Harris here, and alongside me, we've got the president of NAMSA in Mark Pettit, and the Stars head coach, NAMSA player, and now a premiership coach with the West Torrens Eagles B grade. 18. Sorry, under 18s. I should have got that one right. Bill Benedictson, welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, James. Looking forward to this game.
Yeah, great to be here. Perfect day for ball today, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The sky is perfect. A little bit of breeze hitting toward the batters into the batter's face, which means they're not hitting with a regular West Beach breeze. Yeah, we've got the second place Hillbillies versus, where did the Bears finish, Mark?
Third.
First versus third. Now, Bill, little fresh for you. The Falcons were minor premiers.
Yes, minor premiers. We were hoping to be in this game. I would have loved to have been in this game today on the field, but I guess I have the second best seat here right between you two guys calling the game.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming out today, Bill. It was a late call up.
Yeah.
And, I'm glad you were able to join us.
Yeah, happy to be here. Like I say, it's a great day, and it's a good way to watch the game.
Now, we've just watched the B grade, and it was the Tigers 34-0 victors over the Giants. The poor old Giants, nothing went right for them today, including the last time they played, their star pitcher did a hamstring, so he couldn't take the diamond. But now for the A grade, the main game, it is the USC Bears versus the Hillbillies. Hillbillies will bat first, so another coin flip there.
Yes. Yep, another coin flip.
Mark, how did that go?
Well, I think the Bears won the toss and decided to field.
Always want that advantage of batting last. We might go around the diamond. Do either one of you want to do that one? We can.
I'll start that one. I'll just start with the umpires. We've got Nugget on the behind the plate, Hayden at first base, and Sue Darcy at third.
And we'll get to the diamond in a moment. In between batters, as Sebastian Heinzunger will lead things off for the Hillbillies and gets after that first one and fouls it off. Scott Humphreys, very impressive and credentialed pitcher for the USC Bears, a long-time player out at NAMSA, but only just over 30 years old now.
Yes. And
feels like he's been around forever.
Five-time NAMSA medal winner, Scott.
Very quickly out in front here, 0-2.
And how many premierships has he played in, do we know?
I think it's 5.
As Heinzunger fouls that one off. So
he's played in 10 or so grand finals, but I think he's got five premierships to his name.
what's the record out at NAMSA? Would that be Ray O'Loughlin's 14?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a base hit in the gap.
It is a base hit into the gap, and he's got wheels, so
he's
he'll go for extra bases and easily stands up at 3. So that shot into the alley from Heinzunger lost one of his pads that he's got there. He's got the elbow guard, he's got the leg guard.
Guard came off at second. He had a bit of a stumble at between second and third there, right in that shortstop spot. Almost went down.
Well, he did not stop swinging the bat, did he? The entire at bat, and he got one out of the screws. Here's his older brother, Zach, the playing coach, Zach Heinzunger. also aggressive on Scott Humphries. Now, Humphries pitched a gem, didn't he, against the Falcons last week?
Falcons, yes, he did. He look, he had most of our good hitters really crossed up and got some strikeouts. Was very effective. You know, jumping on that first pitch as these guys are doing is not a bad idea as he's fouled that second one back because he gets ahead on you and he kind of works the plate pretty well.
Well, he's managed to do that on both batters so far, but the Heinz-Ungers have been quite aggressive with the stick so far, and Zach behind the count 0-2. We'll see where Humphries goes. Here we can see the shortstop's in pretty tight for that runner on third. As
that's deep.
It goes, yeah, deep out to center field over the head of Carson Scott. It's going to be back-to-back stand-up triples with a stumble in a very similar area for the Heinz-Unger boys, and the Hillbillies off to the perfect start.
Jeez,
Yeah, not to be undone.
Yeah, the brothers really mirrored each other there, didn't they?
The only difference, one's a lefty, one's a righty. That brings up the three-hitter, Bodie Williams, who's pretty much a legend of the NAMSA Association, former president. Seen the lows of the association, and first pitch swinging again, ground out to David Gustafsson, but he brings in a run, so Heinz-Unger scores, and it's 2-0 in the blink of an eye. Alex Hopton trying to make things go as quickly as what we've seen the first three batters already in the box. We haven't had time to breathe and go around the diamond yet, guys, so we're going to have to be quick when we do this.
So we've got Scott Humphries on the mound pitching to Christian Rothel, Chapo, John Chapman at first, Scott Gufferson, Moose at second, Theo Sterling at third, and Matt Pendleton at shortstop. Outfield left to right is Matthew Pendleton, Carson Scott, Tex, and Shane Lowe.
Well, thanks, Bill. You don't have to whisper it. We've seen a change in the direction of the breeze. We've now got that traditional West Beach breeze where the hitters will hit with the wind to the left side. And Alex Hopton also goes behind in the count. So Scott Humphries has been on target early. It's just the Heinz-Unger boys have just hit with power, and both with triples, and both have now crossed the plate as Hopton leaves one on the outside edge. And, well, besides Scott Humphries, you'd have to say that the majority of this USC Bears team have come up from the B grade from last year.
Yes, yep, most of them. I think there's a couple that have come back from the Demons. They played in the Demons grand final. The shortstop and the catcher,
Jake Pendleton and Christian Rothel.
Both played in the Demons grand final last year with young Bill. And the rest, have come up from the Division 2.
Alex Hopton swings at that one and fouls it off.
It's always nice to see ex-teammates doing well, and yes, those boys are playing very well.
Yeah, both made the NAMSA team of the year as outfielders.
We'll have to go through that if you've got the list of winners there, Mark. Maybe not. We'll get you to have a think about it as Alex Hopton takes a base on ball. So with one out, Hillbillies have a runner on base for Sam Paturis.
Yeah, Sam had a really strong first semi-final against Falcons. He had a couple of really big hits and playing in the open fields out at Manapara. Scored a couple of home runs.
Yeah, Sam's a good hitter of the ball. He always has an aggressive cut. Playing second base or shortstop, I'm usually a little bit deeper on him because he's usually going to hit it pretty hard.
Yeah. And so that NAMSA team of the year. Yeah, we had a short break. We had the two pitchers were Scott Humphries and Nick Dorr, state rep, and 16 years old, done a great job pitching for the Falcons all year. Everything seems to be back into order now. Scotty's ready.
Low for a ball, and Humphries looks like he's actually picked up a little bit of pace as he's gotten older, hasn't he? But we know he's got better because he's smarter as well. He's been a class player for the better part of 2 decades, and like I said, he's only just turned 30 the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's only pretty close to what his number is at the moment, I think. 32.
Yep, came up through the grades with Jared Farrell, another famous pitcher out of South Australia.
Gets away from him. Allows Alex to go down to second base. You see, batters for the Hillbillies here are being quite aggressive, but they're also very, very deep in the box, almost as if they're trying to give themselves just as much possible time to get on top of Humphreys, and it seems to be working at the moment.
Juris fouls that one off. Yeah, it's more often than not, the higher you play at the men's level, the deeper in the box you can go, and it's not too uncommon for that back line to be scrubbed out within the first 1 or 2 batters, and they pinch an extra couple of millimetres as Sam Paturis will strike out swinging for the second out. Alex Hopton moves across to third. Chapo, the name on the back of his uniform, John Chapman. He's a big target, isn't he?
6'8" under the old measures, 203 centimetres. He is a big lad.
Dennis Williamson swings first pitch, so that aggressive start from the Hillbillies continues. The matching gold helmet with the gold cleats. Just jammed a little bit as Theoden Sterling makes the play over to Big Chapo, but couldn't get a handle on it. Gustafsson's there to back up. Williamson will be safe on first, and there'll be a pitcher speed up. Alex Hopton scores on the play, so a 3rd run for the Hillbillies. Great start.
You mentioned how smart Humphreys is as he's getting older, but in the Hillbillies with their aggressive first pitch swinging.
The speed-up runner is Heinz Unger, and he was easily
still second
to second.
But it looked like Humphreys is starting a little bit higher on that first pitch to Dennis and fooled him and actually got him to ground out. And unfortunately, the air got him on.
James Goslet with the shot up the middle. Heinz Unger doesn't break stride as he cruises home. RBI single to James Goslet, who was, of course, the MVP of our state championships in January, playing for a Div 3 team.
Yes, yeah, he had a very good tournament, that one, for James.
Here's Tyler Rankin. The aggressive swinging continues. He's the 8 hitter playing right field today. An American that's moved to Adelaide just last year or the year before, I think. So he's got accustomed to NAMSA softball and played his first state championships this year as well, and did quite well.
Made the team of the year as well.
Yep. That one's high and away, and Rothel is struggling with those high pitches, so if he's calling rise balls, he just needs to set up a little higher, even though that Humphreys has just lost that radar a little. In a flash, we're up to the 8 hitter.
4-0 like that.
Rankin just gets under this one a little trouble out of the right side. Yep, Shane Lowe can't stop the ball. It's a catch, and Goslet will score for the 5th run. Wow, we are just ploughing through the batters here, just going early in the count. Scott Humphreys just might have to have a rethink, because these Hillbilly hitters just are relentless with their cuts. Here's a young player, Tom Galgi. hardly had any time to catch up on my scorecard as he takes that one low for a called strike.
Well, it's been kind of a perfect storm for, well, unfortunately for the Bears. A couple of hits and then a couple of errors to extend the inning. And next thing you know, it's 5-0. And they bat through the lineup here. It seems like they can rein it in here and get back in the bats.
Swing and a miss. So ominous signs for the Bears, because in the game before we saw the Tigers have 9 batters come to the plate in the first inning and score 5. They went on to win 34-0. And at the top of the first, the Hillbillies have done the same. 9 batters to the plate, 5 runs scored. And we will go to the bottom half of the inning.
Yes,
Well,
I wasn't expecting that start. They really come out and hit the ball well. The Hillbillies, they were hot to start. The 2 Heinz Unger boys come out, smashed triples, and then it kept coming through.
Keep going from there. All right, for the lineup, I might do the lineup just because we've had a couple of late changes, so you guys can catch up as well if you need to. We've got Dennis Williamson pitching to Bodie Williams. James Gosler at first. Tom Galgi is at second. That's one of the late changes. Alex Hopton at third. And Zach Heinz-Unger at shortstop. The outfield left to right is Sam Paturis, Sebastian Heinz-Unger, and Tyler Rankin at right field. Dan Peterson has come off from the lineups we were given in the earlier in the week, but I'm wondering if that's because he played in a winning grand final in the Hills last night for the Mount Barker Red Sox.
He might be feeling a bit dusty, maybe.
I know they celebrated with some cigars, some stogies, and around a fire last night, so maybe he's feeling it.
Possibly.
Perfect weather to get over a hangover.
It's the weekend of grand finals, isn't it?
Yeah, well, last weekend was the weekend that it got started around the state. We saw Riverland and Mount Gambier and Port Pirie Central Districts have their grand finals. This weekend it's been Hills, the Premier League and Adelaide Club competition, and now NAMSA. Have I forgotten someone? Gawler had theirs
I think last weekend.
Yep.
Women's in the Hills, was that on Friday night?
Yeah, that was this weekend, so Friday night,
okay.
and the men's on Saturday night.
It's Jake Pendleton leading us off here for the USC Bears. As you said before, former teammate of mine last year.
Williamson on the curveball gets him swinging. Just as the Tigers started the last game with a strikeout.
Don't take us there, please, James.
Now, didn't I hear on the broadcast that they had sent how many batters to the plate before, and the one team had only had 3 at one point?
Yep.
I think Dean Struzzel had 3 turns at bat.
4.
Before the 4th batter.
Wow. Is it Chapo up?
Chapo, yeah.
Jim Chapo.
Like I said earlier, takes about 6 steps to get between the bases.
33 batters before the 4th batter came to the box for the Giants.
Such a perfect position for Chapo to play that first base. You want a guy that's can cover pretty much half the field with 1 step and 1 stretch. It's very forgiving for infielders.
And that curveball again from Dennis Williamson has caught Chapo looking there. The backdoor curve, it's a dangerous one to leave as we have a look on the Coco Pizzas replay, catching the corner. So Dennis Williamson, the veteran for the Hillbillies, getting the job done. Is this his first season with the Hillbillies? He was a Demon last year. I know he's played for a couple of other clubs.
Swung a high one, then Tex.
Yep, Carson Scott is the hitter. Joined us in commentary at the state championships. Told me during the week, sorry mate, I can't commentate the grand final with you this week because my team made it. It was a surprise for him. He actually wasn't sure why he put his hand up to play A grade this year. So here he is batting 3 though in a grand final. 3 strikeouts. Well, wow. It's uncanny the 3 up, 3 down after a 5-run inning, 9 batters. It's just a photocopy. I could photocopy the scorecard from the last game.
Let's hope that the Bears can break that mold a bit. Come back with a strong pitching and defensive inning, and then see if they can do something with the sticks. But yes, Dennis is a very good pitcher, isn't he? We faced him in the semi 2 weeks ago, and it's the same kind of effect. We very rarely got any bat on the ball against him, and he was very effective.
He does get a lot of movement on the ball, and makes it a hard one to get on top of. He represented Queensland for about 5 years before moving to Adelaide.
Yep, him and his brother, Roy.
And they've had a lot of success at the Masters, the World Masters and the Australian Masters.
Yep, playing for the Nan Angels. Haven't seen the Nan Angels on the diamond for a while. Wonder if they'll ever make an appearance again. But we're about to get things underway here in the top of the second inning. We'll go back to the game's original leadoff hitter in Sebastian Heinz-Unger. Now, Hillbillies finished second, you said. How many games would they have lost to finish second?
I think they lost 4 or 5.
Long ball with a minor bat flip. Heinz-Unger got all of that one, liked it off the bat, and that's the slowest he will make it around the bases today. He showed us his wheels in the first inning, and now he shows us his power in the second.
Wow, first pitch swinging, and that was a no-doubter, wasn't it? Got it up there, and that wind is blowing from right to left and out towards center, and yeah, that's it.
It's very good hit. He's been playing this season for the East Torrens Division 1 team, so in the baseball. So I don't think that the speed would worry him. The different ball movement would be a concern, but it hasn't proved to be so far today.
Older brother and captain coach of the team, Zach Heinz-Unger, to the plate. Would not like to be outdone by his little brother.
No.
Even the thought as he pulls this one hard, and a great pickup from the big man Chapman for the first out. Hit that hard, and the big man got the big glove down. Let's have a look at the Coco's Pizza replay.
That was a great pickup, that one.
Is Bodie Williams. First pitch swinging his first at-bat, played in that premiership last night with the Mount Barker Red Sox. And I said to him before the game, I said, just cannot get used to seeing you in orange. He said, I've been playing in it all year and I can't get used to it. He's been playing in the NAMSA competition. I don't think he's had a year off since he started. Is that correct? From
the reports are saying he's been playing for 30 consecutive years. He did start as before he was even a teenager.
Inside out, fouls that one off.
He's one of our sons of, with his father Barry Williams being a playing life member.
Yep, Barry won his own best and fairest in 1990, and Bodie won the first of two in 2018.
Nice catch by Shane out there.
Oh,
Shane Lowe in right field. Just kind of a two-strike swing at it, making contact. He kind of hung it up a bit, and Shane ran in probably about 10 meters, made a good catch.
Scotty slowed that one down a bit, trying to chase it. Bodie got good contact, but like I said, Shane took a great catch at right field.
Back to Alex Hopton, and Rothel just get a handle on it at the moment. 2 outs, but this inning just started off with an exclamation point from Sebastian Heinz-Unger, a long ball, solo home run. So Humphreys will be looking to retire the Hillbillies quick smart here in the second.
Alex got himself on with a walk last time. Facing balls, came around to score. See what happens this time. Chaser went up a bit high there. He's quickly behind 1 and 2 now. Humphries changeup.
Straight up, it's a chance here for Rothwell. He gets across to take a good catch. Chapman was there to support, and Hopton is retired. So after a home run, the next 3 batters retired. And maybe that's the spark that the Bears need as they trail 6-0 here in the middle of the second.
Yes, I hope we get some runners on base now. Scott Humphries, Christian Rothwell and Matt Pendleton, the first 3 batters up. Batters 4, 5 and 6.
Scott Humphries to start. He hit one of the longest home runs against us last weekend in that prelim game. Open fields out there, but that went well past the cricket pitch and continued on into Diamond 2.
Yes, that was a huge hit.
I think he was scoring before the ball got back to our first relay, so it was a big hit.
Yeah, some people can forget how good a hitter he is because of how good a pitcher he is, but now one of the competition's finest, as you mentioned before, Mark, 5-time
NAMSA MVP.
NAMSA MVP with 5 premierships to go along with that.
Yeah, he has been a true supporter of the NAMSA competition. Another son of, with his father Alan being a playing life member.
Can you see where Alan's watching from? Deep left field?
Yeah.
Or Humphries looking to break that duck egg that is in the Bears scoring column at the moment. Big swing first up. And of course, a couple of his brothers have played as well, Dan and Nathan.
Yeah, and Nathan's a multi-award winner with NAMSA, and he played in the Division 2 final last year with Phantoms, and Phantoms went up to Division 1. They improved as the season went on. I think they've had a victory over the Bears during the season.
High for a ball, and Humphries good enough to keep his hands back for that one.
Scott's actually a pretty good situational hitter too. He's not afraid to take the ball the other way. Knows how to make contact instead of just going for fence. Now he's evened up the count 2-2.
Yeah, I think Dennis threw a couple of pitches out of the zone to try to get him to chase.
Very close.
Yeah.
One looked about the right height, must have been just off the plate.
You can actually see the movement from down here that Dennis is getting. A bit of a rise in the curve on him.
Catches the outside edge and make it 4 strikeouts for Williamson. He's dialed in today.
See the location on this pitch. It looked, yeah, it's close. Too close to take, I guess, with 2 strikes on
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Considering the one before that was very close too, I thought was too close to take.
Christian Rothwell low in his batting stance, comes up to chase a high pitch.
Christian was part of the NAMSA under-18s team that won the state championships just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the B grade final that they went through undefeated.
Yes, 6 games. The Hills they beat 3 times and 4 times actually in the final. And the Riverland they had 3 victories over them.
Chasing that outside edge, so Williamson has that ball dancing out of his hand as he throws his 5th consecutive strikeout.
He's putting on a masterclass at the moment.
Yeah, very hard to hit Dennis when he gets 0-2, 2 strikes on you like that. He can work the ball pretty well, and you feel compelled to chase.
Looks like he's picked up a little bit of pace as well. Normally relies on his spins and his location, but Geez, he's humming them past these batters early in the count before he comes back with those little spinners, just like we saw there. It's a different look for Dennis as well this year with just the mo. Normally see him with a goatee, so going about his work, quick, smart, and he strikes out Pendleton on 3 pitches. Thanks, Bill.
6 batters,
strikeouts,
6 strikeouts.
6 batters, 6 strikeouts. There you go. So just going about it, Dennis Williamson, early doors, but you know, potentially player of the final contender.
You go that.
Sebastian Heinz-Unger's done pretty well as well to start with.
Couple innings of straight strikeouts, you might start thinking about playing short game and making those infielders move for a ball. That's
starting to make some changes potentially, and Mark mentioned that in the B grade game that's been the Bears' way, trying to play the short game this year.
Yeah, they did against us. Christian showed bunt there for a moment, and then just didn't follow through, did he? Yeah.
I suppose you need to get runners on before you can start playing the short game. They haven't got anyone on there yet, so.
Well, someone has to be the spark here for the Bears as they are looking down a 6-0 deficit. Hillbillies runners-up last year in the NAMSA Grand Final to your Demons, Bill.
Yes.
And it was the result was the opposite way the year before in an 11-inning epic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one on the way down. 11th inning, was it? Yes. And the score of that, was it?
2-1.
2-1. So 1-1 going in at the end of 7, yeah. Yes, I heard it was quite epic.
Pachuris continues that aggressive first pitch swinging for the Hillbillies.
It was real early on that one, so you don't normally get early on Scotty's pitching. He's got a big swing.
Scott Smarty will change some speeds here and try and get some guys off balance a bit here. Just can't keep throwing them in there and having these guys hammer him. That was a bit of an off-speed pitch there.
Yeah, something different. The young catcher will definitely have to use the experience on the shoulders of Scott Humphreys, but I haven't seen him shake off too many, which means that the young catcher's calling the game.
Geez, they got him to chase one high in the zone. I'm amazed he got back to that one. That was way up there. But stays alive, fouling that one off.
Great pitch from
set him up for the change.
Humphreys, yeah, that dipped a little bit as well. So, yeah, maybe sitting on that rise ball again. It's something that the Open Men's State players have learned a lot off Jared Farrell over the last few years, is that, you know, learn from the pitches that you're seeing in the count, and if you're setting up for a high pitch, it's okay to swing at one that's out of the zone if that's the pitch you're looking for. And perhaps that's what Sam was expecting on that third strike. Here's Dennis Williamson swinging a miss on that first one. Scott Humphreys, that's his third strikeout on Pachuris.
Scott didn't like the call on that one. He wanted that strike.
Mark, tell us a little bit about the umpires. Nugget, you said, is the plate umpire of this game.
Very seasoned umpire. Could never remember his actual name. It's always Nugget.
Stumped me there for a minute as well.
Hayden Venning at first base, and Sue Darcy, a CDSA legend, and out here today to help us with the NAMSA.
Williamson behind the count, fouls this one off to stay alive, an inside-out swing. Looking at the flags down the right field line. Geez, the breeze has picked up a bit, hasn't it? We're a bit protected here in the bunker under the Jillian Williams Pavilion.
Yeah, good contact. Get that ball up a bit into the outfield. It's going to carry, so.
Five hits so far for the Hillbillies As Williamson fouls off to stay alive.
Dennis has been a good hitter all year. He's averaged 400 on a batting average, with an on-base average of 760. So virtually 8 times out of 10, he's getting to first base. See if I put the moz on him.
That's the thing about veterans, they find a way, don't they? As Humphries just dials it up a little bit but loses the radar and just outside. We'll go 2-2.
Point you raised there, James, about setting up on a pitch and expecting it. And it looks like Humphries is staying up in the zone, and the Hillbillies trying to compete with that, staying there. Sometimes it's better to expect high and react to a low pitch, isn't it, than look for a low and then come the other way around.
Hold off on the high ones, and when he comes back to your low, you can normally get something you want to drive.
Coco Pizza's replay, and that's a 5th strikeout for Humphries. 4th strikeout for Humphries as James Goslett comes to the plate as an RBI single in the 1st inning.
Nice hit up the middle last time.
It's an under this one. It goes high and shortstop backing back, and it was probably an outfield catch. He backed himself to take it, didn't take his eyes off it, as we'll see on the Coco Pizzas replay.
I think Jake kind of tripped a little bit over the lip there as he backed up, and it's put him off a bit.
He's normally very reliable under the high ball.
Here's Tyler Rankin, the 8 hitter, and gee, the Bears won't want that one to be costly because they've done well to keep the Hillbillies scoreless so far in this inning, considering they just started both the 1st and 2nd innings off with a flurry.
You think an error on that one or a hit? Consider that one a hit?
Yeah, look, if you're going to back yourself in to take a catch like that, I think you've got to take him. So I've scored an error on the shortstop when if either of those outfielders just called him out, and then they could have made a play. Well, Scott Humphries has just dialed it up, hasn't he? And 3 strikeouts in that inning to take his tally to 5. Well, maybe there's some hope for the Bears if Humphries can keep this form up. Let's have a look at that strikeout on Rankin up in the zone.
They're taking their swings now. I think they've got their lead. They want to keep the pressure on and push that up.
Well, I guess that's the benefit of having a 6-run lead, isn't it? That you can go after your pitches, and but at this point, at least Scott is probably adapting a bit and keeping it probably just out of the zone. So if they're going to hit it, they're going to pop up or strike out.
Yeah. So the bottom of the 3rd inning will give the Bears an opportunity to maybe draw a little closer. They're under the tutelage of one of the NAMSA veterans. Kim Madonna was the best and fairest way back in '86 and went back-to-back and won it in '87.
We have a fine left-handed catcher he was, and played in a couple of premierships for the Brahma team.
When I was first starting and my first season's exposed to the NAMSA competition, I was still playing at CDSA, so I was only a spectator. I remember him catching in football shorts, and if anyone remembers the football shorts in the 80s, they were very tight. Alex Hopton nearly takes a great catch in foul territory as the catcher lost sight of it, and Theoden Sterling's going to get a second life. Yeah, those football shorts, Mark.
Yes.
Were they the uniform back in the day? Were they?
They were in the early 80s. In my first season, had a pair of gold Glenelg shorts, and yep, they were short.
But then again, the Hillbillies back then were wearing fluoro, and
Hillbillies come in a bit later.
yeah, they were a very scruffy-looking team, but they could get the job done.
They did. They wore board shorts of some description.
Board shorts and grey t-shirts with like a screen print on it, like almost like a tie-dye.
Yeah,
Maybe not a tie-dye, but
I think it was the old test some people's memory, old Hobby Tex.
Hobby Tex, there you go. Theodore Sterling, bat on ball, and Williamson will do the fielding. First batter to put the ball into play for the Bears, and it was a pretty good shot, but we'll see on the Coco's Pizza replay that Williamson had to work to get that one.
I finally got some decent contact on that one, and
Shot from Sterling.
Dennis probably used every centimeter to get his glove up to get that one. Just about chopped it up the middle.
Ron Hughes is the DP for the Bears.
Great club man. And, he does just about everything. He plays, he coaches and umpires, and his nickname is the chef, so he cooks all the barbecues. A really good club man for the Bears.
Every club needs people like Rowan Hughes. Just, you cannot understate the value of someone who can give up their time for the club and to play multiple roles.
That could fall in for a base hit. Hey.
Out of reach of the shortstop, Zach Heinzunger, and the left fielder, Sam Preturis, who the ball just lands right in the middle of him. Let's have a look at Hughes's hit here on the Coco's Pizza replay.
Yes. Left fielder and shortstop tangling up.
Perfectly placed bloop.
Yeah.
It's come at the right time for the Bears. Their 8-hitter with a hit brings up Shane Lowe, the 9-hitter, and if they can get back-to-back base runners here, it'll bring the top of the order back up. And a chance to close this 6-run gap. A little bit behind it.
Yeah, they're not used to seeing this rise ball, and they're swinging through it, and it's just flying over the top of the bat. Again,
Knockout swinging for Williamson's 7th strikeout and the 2nd out of this inning. And we will come back around to the top and Jake Pendleton.
a very quick base runner, come up through the junior ranks. He's played in the NAMSA Division 1 team the last 3 years.
Fouls this one off now.
Third base playing up short, expecting maybe short game, but first base all the way back in the bag. So they're looking to use that short game and Jake's speed, push one towards first base.
Not only do the Bears have Kim O'Donnell, the assistant coach is Bronny Pendleton, who's an absolute superstar out at the CDSA competition. Has played in the Hills in the past. Great shot, fires it straight back to Williamson. It deflects off his body and denies Pendleton a hit as Galgi's on the spot to throw out the runner. I'll have to wait for the Coco's Pizza replay. Just off the glove of Dennis.
Textbook 1-4-3 put out.
Yes. Dennis, a bit of self-preservation.
Yeah, just got enough to. Jake very unlucky. Good contact up the middle. Actually, the 3 batters that put bat on ball sort of hit towards the middle, didn't they? And just trying to make contact.
That's it. It's good to see. Hopefully most of the lineup will get used to that now.
Well, the Bears are not going down without a fight, are they? But they've got the 9-hitter to lead things off, meaning that the Heinzunger boys will both get a plate appearance in this inning. Well, thanks to NAMSA and the key partners throughout the season, Coco's Pizza, Bianco Reinforcing, and Zancock Traffic Group. What do they do, Zancock?
That's one of our players' employer, Damien Boxer. He got them involved.
Galgi first pitch swinging. It's a definite plan here from the Hillbillies to challenge the Bears' defense.
Yes, and they want to get early on Scott. Scott likes to get that first pitch in.
Tom's a good young player. You know, he's gotten better and better over the years. He came through the Dragons program here, James, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, and has played for the state under 16 boys a few times. It's a single up the middle. It's come off the glove of the pitcher. It was a bit tough on the shortstop, and Gaugi beats that one out and becomes a base runner.
And yeah, Tom got into the Australian under-16 development squad a couple of years ago.
Last year went to the camp in Brisbane, I think.
Yeah.
Here's Sebastian Heinzunger. Doesn't wait around long. Oh, just off the palm of the shortstop. Didn't glove it. Would have been a great throw over from Rothel off his knees, if you don't mind.
It was a great throw. Bit of bad luck. Hit the glove too hard, I think. It's bounced straight out.
Well, the batter that's had a triple and a home run has shaped a bunt, fouls it off, goes behind the count 0-2.
I think he must have had that call and thought, I'm just going to bunt that foul. I'm going for the fence again. Didn't quite shake off his dad at base coaching at third.
High in the zone, gets his hands to it. The left fielder goes back, and the second home run. Well, not for the first time today that we've seen the leadoff batter for a team have multiple home runs in the game. 3 from 3, a triple and 2 home runs for this player. And he's now got 3 RBIs.
I think you called it there, Mark, when you bunted that one foul, as if, okay, I'll bunt for you, coach, but I'm not going to put it fair.
Yes, I want another swing.
The wind is blowing out, and I am swinging for the fences. That was a great hit.
Baz has had a stint with the Adelaide Giants, a couple of development games.
From the left-handed box,
From the back
this is
there and right.
Zach Heinzunger. It drops in between the right fielder and the home run fence. He trotted the first couple of bases and just puts the burners on to get the third. That's his second triple of the game. He got under it, didn't he? Let's have a look at the Coco's Pizza replay. Yeah, it looked gone off the bat, didn't it?
Yeah.
As the right fielder backed back and worried about the fence.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Shane probably need to turn a bit and get back and beat the ball to where it was landing. And just doing a bit of that back pedal.
To the shortstop, Pendleton just on the back foot, didn't have the weight down on that front foot to throw it over for the out. And Bodie Williams will be aboard for the first time in this game. There's the Coco's Pizza replay. The throw just going a little wild. A timeout called from Kim O'Donnell, and he actually wants to have a chat to the whole team, so even the outfielders will come in for this chat.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Try and settle them down, and hopefully they can get themselves back into it a bit.
Well, it's a making of a pretty good team, isn't it? When you've got some kids out there that are just giving it all that they've got. Probably, what, 4 teenagers in that lineup out there, maybe more. I might be miscounting, but
Yeah, 2 under-18s. Matthew Pendleton's just turned 19. Jake's 20, I think, 21 maybe.
okay. Yeah, so, yeah, some youngsters in the team. And
A couple of senior people, but they're relatively inexperienced compared to some of the Hillbillies. But Scotty's definitely the most experienced player out there for them, and just struggling to keep the bats at bay. The Hillbillies are swinging hard.
But handy player for them to pick up, isn't he,
Yes.
Scott Humphries? And you know, if he sticks with this team, you know, can work with Theoden Sterling, who's their other pitcher. Just young, but can fire them in.
Yes, yeah, we'd really like to be able to spread the talent through the teams. Hillbillies.
Hopton just jammed a little bit. It's going to work as Carson Scott has got to run in and just chopped that one off. So Alex Hopton with a single, and we see Heinz Unger move across to third. Sampaturis now to the plate with a 1-3 split. There's the Coco's Pizza replay.
Yes, the speed up rule was brought in. Bodie come off, and it's Tim Gocher running the bases.
I like that the speed up rule because there's none out. So they've subbed in for Bodie. Probably a re-entry, I imagine. But
I would think so.
Yeah. But probably a wise move. He went first to third on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, Bodie was another one of those players that played in the Red Sox premiership last night at the Hills. I can see his father Barry over to the left.
Yes, the long beard. Sam will be looking for a hit. Missed out so far.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts for Paturis so far, and he does get that hit just on the inside of the diamond of third base, gets past the glove of Sterling. Hopton will score all the way from first, and Sam Paturis 2 RBIs and a double.
Nice way to get into the game.
Yeah, Sam tend to pull the ball there, and he got an inside pitch and went right down the line past Theo. Just a minor little bobble down the line there allowed run the score all the way from first.
Yeah, the infielders will be finding the ball coming onto them a lot harder here on the skin diamond than they're used to at the green lush fields of Manapala Soccer Club.
Just jammed, and Humphreys will come in and take that catch. It's, believe it or not, just the first out of this 4th inning, and that was the 7th batter of the inning.
Good hustle from Scott there. It's a tough play.
Yeah, so I don't think Christian was going to get up there in time, so it's a good hustle by Scotty. Gozzi played in a grand final last night for the Hahndorf B grade, which was coached by Sam Paturis. Well done to Hahndorf.
Wasn't James the player of the state championship senior states just gone?
Mentioned that earlier, playing for a Div 3 team. He won the MVP award. Yeah, doesn't hold back on that one. Good to see Goslet starting to emerge as one of the big players of the competition, because he would, in his earlier years, was a bit shy, wasn't he? He was reluctant to swing that bat. Now he's not holding back at all.
It's one that comes down from the hills each Friday night to play in NAMSA, and gets out there on a Saturday to play for the Hills other Hahndorf team.
Chopper towards short.
Oh, good grab. No play on it.
It is a good grab, but it'll go down as an infield single. Perhaps the best part of that was it would have stopped Sam Paturis from scoring from second. Another change being made here from the Hillbillies. Jay Carson's coming in to run for Goslet. I wonder if they'll keep any of these players in, because Jay's been a long-serving player at the Hillbillies. He's only young, played in the NAMSA undefeated junior state championship side in the Riverland.
Yes, he's playing for about 4 years, I think, already, and he did win the McAuliffe Rising Star Award in his first season.
He's a good second baseman. I've played against him. He's very confident over there. Got good range. Put bat on ball.
And an accomplished baseballer too. And played for the junior state teams.
Trying to pick off at third, but nothing doing.
Yeah, Sam hadn't moved. So we're trying to catch him. Big swing there by Tyler.
Quickly 0-2.
Inside for Rankin. It's a tough pitch to leave on an 0-2 count.
Good eye.
Good pitch by Humphries there. Maybe set up the outside. Looks like Christian's moved over. Oh, change up.
Change up gets him swinging for the second out. So 2 runners on. Now there's 2 out for this innings leadoff hitter in Tom Galgi.
Second time this game they've batted through the lineup and scored a bunch of runs in the process.
Yeah, second time up this innings for Tom.
So far another spot of 5, eh? So, let's see what Tom can do. Change up.
What this does, this 11-run lead that Hillbillies have, put them in run rule contention and 3 outs away from the NAMSA Division 1 title. As Galgi just gets his hand to the ball, it is, and it's going to be a couple of extra security runs as Carson scores all the way from 2. Patura scored from 3rd, and it blows out to a 13-0 lead. Another change. Lucas Gabrielli is coming into play for Tom Galgi. So perhaps the Hillbillies coaches sensing that the win is just 3 outs away once they finish this inning. And they're not done yet because we're back to the top and, well, 3 for 3, 2 home runs and a triple for Sebastian Heinzunger in this game.
Yeah, he's burned it up today. He's all over. Let's see what happens. How Scotty's going to pitch him, whether he's going to go right after him again or maybe pitch him a little bit more carefully. Make him chase.
Yeah, so Lucas Gabrielli was the winner of the Rising Star Award for this season. First season at NAMSA. Again, another member of the under-18s team. Please. No?
Scott right under it.
Looking at each other there.
Second base player Gustafsson can't get a glove to it and will see Heinzunger make his way over to second. Doesn't get a glove on it. Backing back for that one, very similar to that one that we called an error on the shortstop.
I thought Scotty was looking for a foul ball.
Yeah, very early.
Well in.
Very early, the two fielders were looking at each other a little bit like, you going, I'm going, I'm not sure. And it fell in there. That wind, as we said before, blowing across from right, sort of keeps that ball in play, whereas that normally is probably a foul ball. And good running from Lucas to go from, he ran from second base all the way around score, from first all the way to third. He ran well.
Zach Heinzunger now to the plate, 2 triples next to his name.
Well, Zach would have to be thinking, I have to hit a bomb here to catch up the brother, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
I would think so.
You know, maybe if he can go slightly left center with it, he's probably got a shot.
Known amongst his baseball mates as Zoo.
Zoo.
Yeah,
all right.
ZHU. His
Okay,
initials.
yes. Oh, just puts bat on ball and gets himself a single out to right field. His brother Sebastian just so quick around the bases, scores easily from second and is now 15-0. Just an unbelievable performance of batting because Scott Humphries is one of the finest pitchers we have in the state.
Tim Goach has stayed in the game to bat in the spot that Bodie Williams was.
Don't know, Tim.
First season back out. He's had 10 years out of the game, and been a consistent player for the Hillbillies. 250 batting average, on base percentage of about 400. Nicknamed the Goose. I think it's a Top Gun reference there.
Yeah.
The Mo.
Strikeout looking, and the Goose isn't too happy with that call and shaking his head as he walks off high on the letters. But Scott Humphreys will strike out another 2 in that inning for a total of 7 in the game, believe it or not. But the Hillbillies have done the damage, putting on 9 in that inning.
9 runs there, yeah, taking to 15. And as you say, they're 3 outs away now, aren't they? From a run rule.
Yeah, 9 runs in that inning. Yeah, 15-0 means they need 3 outs for an emphatic win. We've seen 2 very one-sided matchups today, haven't we? The B-grade final earlier today, which, Mark, you'd be pleased to know, has already had 2,100 views.
Wow, that's
in comparison. The Premier League Grand Final last night had 3,100 this morning.
wow.
Bodie's re-entered, so we need to catch up there.
Bodie's re-entered.
Looks like
Jay Carson
too.
Jay Carson stayed in the game. Yep. Sam Paturis has gone over to first base, which means that Goslett stayed out of the game.
Yeah, and
did Lucas get to stay in? Is he? No.
Who's at left field?
Looks like a lefty out. Oh no, he's just holding his glove in the
Or is that still Tyler up there? Is that someone?
Tyler's at right field.
Tyler's at right. I think it's Lucas. Lucas has stayed in the game.
Okay.
At right field, and James Goslett's come out. Sam Paturis has gone to first base. So they've got all their players into the game.
Otherwise, they've re-entered Tom. That's not Tom Galley up there who started in left field. No, he was.
That actually might be Tom Galgi out at left field. Yeah, with Jay Carson, who's moved into the infield to play second. Well, here's John Chapman.
203 centimetres of him.
I can't tell you the last time I remember a player that tall playing here. Maybe Andrew Kirkpatrick in the 2016 Australian Men's National Championships, which we'll be hosting again in March next year. March 2024, the Australian Men's National Championships comes back to Adelaide. Andrew's retired, of course, but so we won't see him as Chapo goes down swinging and Dennis Williamson chalks up strikeout number 8.
He's had a day out. So we've got the Carol McAuliffe medal for the best player in the grand final. That's normally selected by the McAuliffe family. I haven't seen David or Brett yet. Maybe Carol.
David's here. I've seen David.
Oh, David.
Yeah, pulled up with him for a chat.
He's a keen eye for a good softballer. Great softball family, the McAuliffes.
Carson Scott gets in here with 1 out.
If I may, Mark,
Yes.
maybe the greatest softball family from South Australia.
Yes, it's a big call there for
Alan and John McAuliffe, both World Softball Australia and Softball SA Hall of Famers. Both Olympians. Then you go down to the next generation and you've got Karen and David and Brett. Now there's another generation of the McAuliffes.
David and Brett, both playing life members of NAMSA.
Pam McAuliffe as well.
Stays alive, Carson does, fouling that pitch off up high.
Still chasing that high one. You'd like to see him lay off that one and get the low one. drive it.
Well, Carson behind the count, doesn't go down without a fight. Got a good catch taken at shortstop from Zach Heinzunker for out number 2, and now the Hillbillies 1 out away from a 15-0 win, but this man stands in their way, Scott Humphreys.
Yeah, for the Bears at this point, they're looking to just keep everything alive, you know, do what they can to get the ball in play, get on base, nothing too much.
Change of
So
pace.
Can't hit a 5-run home run with nobody on base, can you?
No.
Or a 15-run in this case. Well, he had a good cut.
Outside edge with a nice curveball from Dennis Williamson. And Humphreys 0-2, quickly to 0-2. And the Bears are down to their last strike. He's off a high one. Not a bad waste pitch there from Williamson.
Lines up through the zone. Again. Made a layoff there, Scotty. So wait for your pitch now.
It's hit hard. That's to the fence. That's gone.
Wow, that's a laser beam home run to break the duck egg. Scott Humphreys delivers for his Bears.
I don't think that thing got any higher than about 5 meters off the floor all the way out there.
I think it got its highest point was when it was leaving the field.
Let's see the replay on that. Again, he hit a very hard ball.
And he went for the low one. I think we were saying that.
Yep, it was a down ball. And that thing is out in a hurry.
Jeez, that was a great shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Similar to his hit last weekend against the Falcons.
Well, he breaks the goose egg, 15-1.
Christian Rothel now for the Bears. Still a long way back. And the Hillbillies just need one.
Quickly 2 strikes on Christian. But the Bears have a lot to be proud of. They've had a good season and played a couple of great finals.
A strikeout for the win. 9 strikeouts on the day for Dennis Williamson, and Bodie Williams breaks a long drought of premierships.
Yes, he missed one last year, and he's got one for quite some time.
Watch the Coco's Pizza replay. It means a lot to him here to make this out. The pump of the fist.
Yeah.
Even though it was a 14-run win, that is years in the making for that player. And then the rest of the Hillbillies boys, well, I think that's premiership number 16 for the club.
Yes.
And they're all happy. Congratulations to the Hillbillies. Well done to the Bears, firstly, for making the grand final and putting up a bit of a fight, but dominant the Hillbillies this year. And well, Dan Peterson didn't get to take the diamond, but he'll get a premiership medal for both NAMSA and the Hills A grades this year. And so will Bodie Williams.
And Dan's just been announced the over 35 state coach.
That's right, with a trial tomorrow night. Come down to West Beach. Bill, I reckon you'll be there.
I believe I will.
I'll see you there as well. And I just want to thank the NAMSA Association for inviting me to come and commentate their 2 grand finals today. Mark, I'm going to leave it with you for any final comments, but very special thanks to the NAMSA partners, Coco's Pizza, Zancott Traffic Group and Bianco Reinforcing. Well done to the clubs that made the grand finals, and to everyone who took the diamond for NAMSA, and well done to Playford City Council for giving you a a temporary home, and hopefully your new permanent home at Ridley Road will be ready sooner rather than later. Thanks to the boys at Spacequake Sports as well. Mark, I'll let you sign off.
Yeah, thank you, James. Thank you for making the venue available for us today. Thank you to Spacequake Sports for streaming it. The first time that a NAMSA grand final has been streamed.
And the first time we've ever done a B grade game as well.
Yes, after the result maybe not again, but I'd like to thank the NAMSA committee, all the NAMSA clubs for putting on a show, and we've had a good season. There's been a few tough calls had to be made, but we've got through, and hopefully everyone has enjoyed the games today. Hopefully a shout out to NAMSA honorary life member watching from Cairns, Deirdre Childs, watching your Hillbillies win. So I hope you enjoyed that game, Dee. And that would be it. I probably need to present the medals.
Well, we'll let you get going, and just one more time, thanks to the softball community for getting around and supporting the Spacequake Sports broadcasts of one of the greatest games in the world, and that is softball. So hopefully it's not too long before we see you again. That'll wrap up the 2022-23 season. Good luck to anyone who's playing in the Masters tournaments in the off-season, and anyone travelling overseas or interstate to play for a representative. Thanks again to Spacequake Sports. Good afternoon.